Hi, today we'll discuss about let, var, and const variables in JavaScript. Let and const are introduced in ES6, also known as ECMAScript 2015, which provides new ways to declare variables with different scoping rules compared to the traditional var keyword. Var is an old way of declaring a variable. Let and const are block scoped, and var is a global scoped. Um, we should use const by default. Let's see some examples. Let and const variables are block scope local variables. So we will declare one variable with some value 10, and we will use if block with the value. So for it to execute the block of the code, and we declare this again with some value of 100, and log this to the control, and log this to the control again. So once we are placing within the if block and the other outside the if block, and we will see how this is working. Here, x is printing 100, and here it is 10 because the value is declared. I mean, the variable is declared with a let. So this will give the output of 100, and this will give the output of 10. If I change this let to const here, well, now the values are same because let and const are block scoped local variables. Okay, and if I change this to var, and this will give the value of 100 as well as 100 here, because this is a global variable. Once a global variable is changed with a value of a different in another instance, so the value is changed altogether. Okay, so this is about let, const, and var. Let's see another example. Let variable initialization is optional. Okay, so here let me remove these lines of code, and I'll keep var itself because var and let default values are undefined itself. See, this is undefined. If I check the type of um, uh, this variable, for this will also give me undefined. If I change this to let, uh, this is also the same. Okay. For let and var, the default values are undefined. If I change this to const, as you can expect, uh, this will give us an error, missing initializer in const declaration. Okay. This means we need to put some value here. Okay. So this is about initialization. And const variable must be initialized. We saw this one already. Okay, and const cannot be reinitialized. Let's see what this means. Is that x is equal to, let's say, if you put 1000 here, rerun this. Now this says that type error, assignment to constant variable. Okay, this is not allowed because this is a primitive variable. And but if this is an object, the properties of an object which is declared with constant can be changed. Let's say I'll put employee, and this is an object. Let's say I'll bring in this will the value of last name, let's say by age, let's say 40, of semicolon, colon, comma here, and this is profession, but let's say coding. Okay, so this is about an object. Now we are trying to change the property of an object. So we will change the property of an object by using the variable and with a dot operator. notation, and then calling the using the field itself, okay, the property. Now the value is changing to, let's say, teacher. Okay. Now let's log this to the console and see what happens. I'll log this to the console before changing the value. Well, and rerun this. Here, if you can observe, we are logging this to the console twice. In the first occasion, we are getting this coding as this is the value. And the second occasion, we are getting teacher here. Okay. That means even though the object is declared with a const type, the properties of this object can be changed. Okay, but primitive, this cannot be changed. Okay, we'll get an error. So this is about this one. Constant is an object, then the properties can be changed. Now, let variable can be reinitialized, but const cannot be reinitialized. What this means is that basically, as constant by the name itself, it is a constant, right? We cannot change the value to something else. Okay, run that one, I will get an error. Okay, if I change this to let, there is no work, there's no error. Okay, and same is the case with var as well. Constant only, we need to, the reinitialization is not possible. Okay, the last one, var variable has global scope. What this means is that I'll use the same value, same variable, and I'll use my keyboard is function, and I'll say function as a set function, and in which I use with line log the console the value of x. Let's call this function and also use the same console log outside of the function. Okay, and run this. What will happen is that we will get the same value because var is declared at the top. That means this is having the global scope. If I bring this line into the function, into the function and rerun this, what happens is that we get an error. Until this point is okay, but when until this point is also okay, but that is why we're getting 100. But this point, this line it is errored out, okay, which is x is not defined, a reference error. Okay, so this is within the function scope. Although var is a global, but it is global to only function, not global to the entire script. So one more example is that var, if we remove and rerun this, we will get x is equal to 100 here, as well as x is equal to 100. Although x is not declared outside of this function, we are getting 100 because x is here not declared with any of these declarations, right? Let, const, or var. Okay. Even though these are not declared with let, const, var, this is treated as a global variable. So global variables value is accessed from anywhere within the script, okay, outside of the function as well. So that is why it is giving us 100. But this way of coding is not good. It is not a good practice, okay. This is about the scope of the variables. Yeah, that's all for now. Thank you for watching.